All right, for our second part of this lesson, we're going to be constructing inscribed squares. So we should probably know what an inscribed square is. An inscribed square is a square where all four vertices, that's the corners, lie on the circle. So A, B, D, C, as you see here, all four vertices lay on the circle. So this is an inscribed square. Sweet. Now how do we construct one? Well, you're going to use what you just learned about perpendicular bisectors to draw an inscribed square. And then we'll talk about the properties. So first we're going to construct a square inscribed in circle P. What you start by doing is this. You're going to draw a diameter. That's step one. So you draw a diameter. And that means you have to make it go through this point. It doesn't matter where you draw it through the point, but just make sure you draw a line through that center point. Okay? So let's just draw it through like so. Okay? That's your diameter. That's step one. Step two is to draw a perpendicular bisector of that diameter. So what we're going to do is very simple. You're going to put it on the end point, just like we did last time. We're going to put it right where the circle meets that diameter. We're going to draw a perpendicular bisector. Okay? Ready? Here we go. All right. Do it on one side. Now we're going to switch to the other side, right here. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing. So remember, it's where the circle meets the line. All right, we're drawing a perpendicular bisector. Oh, gross. Okay, sweet. Now what you're going to do is draw the perpendicular bisector. So remember, these are the 2 points of intersection right here and here. Okay. Just going to draw the line right through. Right there. Sweet. Okay. So now that you've got your perpendicular bisector, to draw the inscribed square, what you're going to do is mark these 4 points. So you see I have 1, 2, 3, 4 points that intersect the circle. What you're going to do now is just connect these points. Connect. Connect, connect, connect. You'll see here, I have now inscribed a square. Check it out. Ooh, doesn't that look like a pretty square? Now, what's a property that I know that's true here? What do I know that makes this a square? What's one property I could say? Well, one property that I know is true is that that's a 90-degree angle, right? And these are the diagonals. So I know that this one, the diagonals are perpendicular, right? I create a perpendicular bisector, so the diagonals are perpendicular. That's a property of a square. All right. And I also know all these sides are congruent. All right. All sides are congruent. All right. All right, let's try one more time. I know you're saying like, we can't do that. Yes, you can. Watch. Let's go through all the steps again. We're gonna construct a square inscribed in circle O. So let's try that again. So step one, see if you can remember. Yes, you draw a diameter. So that goes through the center, and it has to go through that center point. All right. And let's stop it at those endpoints. So you stop it right here, okay? So here are your endpoints here and here. So step one. Step two, draw a perpendicular bisector of this diameter. So we're gonna do exactly what we did. We're gonna put our end on this endpoint. Sorry, my fat hand's in the way. We're gonna put it on the endpoint, like so. Metal part, okay? Put the metal part on the endpoint, one. You can do that semicircle. So you're just gonna go across, just like we did in the last lesson. You do that on one side, okay? So I did it on my first side, and then just like we did in the last lesson for a perpendicular bisector, you can do it on the other side. So you bring it from here to here, and check it out. Okay. All right. Now mine's kind of fugly, but I did what I did. So now you connect your perpendicular bisector. So you have an endpoint here and here. Okay, and we're going to connect it. I'm going to use pencil. And what I've just done is I created a perpendicular bisector. Okay? And that's 90 degrees. So now I'm going to draw those 4 points that I have on the outside of the circle, and to make my square, I just connect them. Sweet, look at that. That is an inscribed square. Is it perfect? No, but it's pretty darn close. So what are the properties again? Well, I know that my diagonals are congruent. All right, not congruent, perpendicular. Diagonals are perpendicular. And I know that all sides are congruent. Why did I put perpendicular? All right. And so that's how you do inscribed square. Watch it again if you didn't get it, but I think you do. Remember, it's just a perpendicular bisector. Just a little extra work this time. Nice.